Morning, welcome back to the Van Build series. I apologise for yesterday's audio quality. I know it was exceptionally bad. Um, that was mainly because I was moving the camera. So I will try and keep the camera stationary as much as I can today, just so that you don't hear that rattle from the camera mic. This morning I've gone up to a few different stores. So the hardware store, auto electrical. I went to Kmart. I didn't buy anything because I forgot my measurements. But I'll go back there to get some containers and whatnot. So just this morning I have gotten some adhesive and sealant for specifically for the basin. Um, so that's just to glue it onto the actual kitchen cabinetry. I've also got some brackets, so I need to finish up the legs on the kitchen framework. And that's right, I got some switches for the lights that are going in the bedroom area. And I also got some external floodlights, spotlight bar. So this mounts on the front of your car, and it just gives, it's kind of like high beams but even brighter. If when I'm out in country areas, the lighting is not very good there, so I will be needing that. I have also purchased some Plasti Dip. So I will go through what Plasti Dip is a bit later. I don't think I will get time to do it today, but I'm hoping to get it done either tomorrow or the day after. But this is going to be for the cabin area, just to spruce it up a bit. I've also got some LED lights for the bedroom area. As I said, I damaged the ones that the previous owner had, so I've just got some more to replace it. I may put some of those outside as well. Yeah, depending if I can get that secondary set of lights working. If I can, then I can use these ones outside. So let's get started. So I've checked out the second set of lights that he had, and they all seem to be working fine. It is a little bent, but I can fix that when I'm mounting it. So I will reuse these, and that means I've got two sets, which I can use one of them for outside. I purchased a different type of switch for the lights that are going in over the bed, and so it's not a rocker switch where you push it and it flips the switch. This one is a push button one, so you push it and the thing springs out, push it again and it springs in. There's a couple of reasons why I got it. One, it's just fun to press. But two, and the main reason is because I'm having it mounted this way. So it's going to be flat, and then I'm going to have it this way. Whereas if you had a rocker switch, it's still, there's a tendency that it might get damaged. So if say I had, I don't know, not a piece of wood, but something, and I clipped it, it would most likely break the plastic. This one is a little bit more concealed, and it gradients up. So if I do hit something on it, it's likely to just roll over. The only problem I have with this switch is it's only got 2 prongs, and I was trying to figure it out, and I think there's a slot on the side here, and it just has numbers on them, 1, 2, and 3. It's not very indicative of anything, but from my best guess is you're supposed to get one of the terminals that has this prong, and it slots in there, and I'm guessing that's for the negative. So I will have to find. I have seen them at the hardware store. So I will get some next time I'm up there and test it out. But yeah, I probably should have looked at it. I just assumed it was the same before I bought it. But yeah, so that will be for the lights there. For the meantime, I'm going to figure out how this dimmer switch works. The previous owner did put a little bit of labeling on it, but I'm not sure what these markings mean. So I'm going to test it out and see if I can get it working. So I've played around with this dimmer switch thing, and I have been able to get it working. So just turn that on, and there you go. Cool. So I have a box, just like the power box that I put with all the switches. It's just a smaller version. So I'm going to drill some holes into it so I can mount this stuff here. I finished making the dimmer switch. So this is the lights on top of the bed. Push button, dim. I just realized that the dim, it wouldn't have mattered if I got a rocker switch or a push on. I do like the push, so it's nice and fun to press. But yeah, I don't know if I can mount it this way now, just because of this thing. I'm just scared something's going to catch on it and then rip it off, which will probably rip the wiring off as well. So I might mount it on a wall. This specific one, I did make sure to get this time one that did have mounting brackets, so I can drill this into the wall if I really want to. I've added some LED lights along the rooftop. It goes on the back and on the other side, halfway on the other side, for a bit of light outside when I will be camping and stuff like that. So I'm not going to connect it just yet, but it will be connected to the switchboard that's inside. I've got some helpers with me today. My sister and Pete are here to give me a hand to meet my deadline. I have finished securing on the leg frames and the brackets. So I did have to cut a slight piece off this end, and I put in flat brackets for these back ends. I needed to cut that because that wheel arch covering was blocking it from sliding out, but that should be ready to go now. I think we'll just put a coat of paint on it, and then we can get started on cutting the cooktop. Why can I not think of that? Cooktop. We'll put the cooktop. So while I'm working on the kitchen, my sister's helping out with putting the trimmings on the side the side door, and Pete is helping out with the carpeting for the cabin area. So to cover this bit here. So if we do get more time, I might ask if he can carpet the bottom of it as well, and I can get started on the plasti dip as well once that's done. I've just painted the face side of the kitchen cabinetry. You shouldn't be able to see any of this anyway, because I'm going to put white paneling on anyway. But you might be able to see these edges. I don't think too much of it will be exposed, but it's better to have it painted than to have the wood there. So I'm just gonna let that dry, and then we'll measure out for the cooktop. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm just gonna measure it up and cut the backing piece for it. It should just be one single piece, but I still need to cut off a little bit of the corner to allow for piping to slide in and out between the two different kitchen pieces. Come across some issues with the angles on this entryway. It's a little too difficult to bend the metal and cut it to shape. So I'm just gonna get some rubber sealant next time I'm at the hardware store. I've cut the backing board to size, but I'm not going to attach it on just yet. I've just realised I need to put the sink in and the slide to see how far it actually comes out and how big that gap should be. I'm going to start cutting the cooktop space. So it does actually come with a piece of cardboard that I can measure out with, but I need the cooktop to be as close to the leg here as possible. So I'm going to turn it upside down and drill a pilot hole as close to this edge as possible, and then I'll use that as the boundary to measure this up. Okay, so I've got my pilot hole here. So I know the framing is just on the other side of that. So I'm going to put this cut board and just cover it enough. I'm just going to check on either side as well to make sure that it's even. I mentioned it previously on another episode, but when you use painter's tape like this to cut on the edge, it actually stops any chip made by the blade. So I'm going to be using that again. Not only that, it is ruling, making the marks where I should be cutting. But it's not going to matter if there's slight chipping anyway, because there's a lip on the cooktop to hold it in place. I finished cutting out Cooktop. Why can I not remember that? Cooktop hole. And it fits perfectly. So I'm going to remove the masking tape and we can secure it down. I think I'll. I don't even know if I'll need glue, but I might just use some glue. I've got that adhesive for the sink anyway, so I might just use that. I've sent my helpers up to the hardware store to get me some brackets so I can put the sliding rail in, so I can screw it to the floor basically. But I just wanted to show you the cut. So as you can see here, it's really close. This like my nail uh, size difference between it. So I'm very happy with the cut, and it is clean, and this sits very flush on it. So like you can't see any of the cut at all. I'm not going to glue it down. I don't think there's too much point. It doesn't move that much. I might just put some rubber or even a piece of paper or something just to solidify it on the underside. I also tested out this power cord. So all this power cord does is ignite the starters. So I'm not going to put it in. I'm not going to plug it in. It's just taking up a socket which I could use for something else. So I will ignite the flame with a lighter or matches. Yeah. So the sink will go in here. So I'm just going to lay it on top first and then draw out a the sinkhole. I think this is where I want to have the basin, but I don't think I can cut into it just yet, just because the tap fitting, I still haven't chosen a tap yet, but I may need to bring this thing forward to allow space for me to drill in. I can't just assume that I can put it on the corner because that's where the framework is. I need to leave, so the framework comes to about here, and if the tap fitting goes in here, it's going to be blocked if I start on that now. So I'm going to leave that for now. Yeah, I'll leave it for now, and tomorrow we'll pick up a tap. But with the rest of it, I can still continue on with it. I'm pretty sure I just need to drill a hole and then seal it, and then put the drain in. So I don't think it's too much. So we'll leave it for tomorrow. For the meantime, though, I have just found out that the hot water system actually does fit on the side of this cabinet. So let me go get it and I'll show you what I mean. So just coincidentally, it is the exact height of this kitchen. Um, so I think I will mount it on the side. Um, Actually, I need to double think this because I was actually going to have a extra cooking space on the side here, um, but I can't do that if this this is in the way. Let me double think that, and I'll make a decision on that later. Um, but it's good to know that it is that height, um, even if I don't mount it on here. I can put it on the other side just as storage, and then bring it out when I need to use it. But I'd prefer not to do that, because that takes time to set up, and if I do that each day, it's eating into my travel time. Um, so yeah, I will think about a way to mount this on. Just while I'm waiting for the brackets to get here, I'm gonna lay down the support planking. Actually, I just remembered I need to measure it to size so that the fridge will fit. Let me do that first. Okay, so this is how much excess I need to cut off on the supporting rail edge, so that the fridge can fit in. Um, that 1.5 to 2 centimeters actually makes all the difference. I cannot fit the fridge in without that 2 centimeters gone. So very, very low, small margins I have to work with. I've added lights to the rooftop edging. Um, it's come in real handy actually, because now I can work here at night. But it goes around um, around the back and partially on this side. Um, I may connect that up to a secondary piece. I haven't decided yet. We'll see how much is left over from the kitchen bit, but I think there should be enough left over to actually go all the way around. I've made my cuts for the inner sliding rails. So this piece of wood is what's going to be drilled into the body of the car, the floor. And I'll attach the inside rails to this. This is also what the fridge is going to be sitting on. So this should be the same width as the rails. I finished making the cuts for the sliding rail. I'm just gonna double check and make sure that the fridge fits, and then I'll put the sliding rails on. Sitting flat on that. I just thought of a problem regarding the fridge. When you do slide it in and out, because it's on the wood at the moment, it's going to slide on that wood as well, which means that the fridge moves like this. So it moves after the frame. I might put some support struts along. I'd probably say that the top, um, just so that it can, so that it's not moving around with it. I'm gonna finish up for the day, day/night. I have the sliding rails ready to go. There is a slight issue with the fridge, um, but I have a way around it. Um, yeah, so to tomorrow we'll drill in the brackets onto the floor, and then we'll put on the sliders. Yeah, it's turning out okay so far. Little hiccups here and there, but I'll go to the hardware store in the morning and pick up a tap, so that we can have water. The 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 shower head, that's came with the hot water system. Um, it's made of plastic and it's not very strong. Like the on off switch, is already broken, and it doesn't flick up and down as well. Well, not easily anyway. So I think I'll get a basin, a tap with the pull out, tap, head. Um, so tomorrow morning I will do that first thing. Hopefully we can get the kitchen all finished up, and then we can move on to. I might finish the cabin jobs. So there's a couple of things that need to be done. Um, yeah, but I'll get to that tomorrow morning. I'll explain it to you. And then hopefully we can start on a little bit of the bed framework, the bed slash lounge framework. Um, yeah, I've taken a few measurements. Um, I think it'll be fine. We are cutting it really close though, in terms of the headspace. If there's not enough headspace, it's not a huge deal. Um, so long as I can sleep, that's the main function of it. Um, Lounging area, not overly worried about that. So tomorrow, let's finish the kitchen, fix up the cabin, start on the framework, maybe, and then we'll do the bed the following day, and then I'll install some cabinetry. Um, cool. Overall, that we did get a lot done today, um, but there's a lot of half jobs here and there. So let's complete the big jobs first, and then we can go back to finishing the half jobs. Once again, thanks for joining me.